What's going on, everybody? It's your boy C-Zar, and we are talking about Bitcoin today. Hit that like button, you guys. Subscribe if you want to see more content like this, and let's get into it. It is the 21st of May today. We have 23 hours and 6 minutes left in the day here. It's a brand new day. Yesterday, the 20th, we did close the highest daily close that Bitcoin has ever closed in its entire existence, closing at $106.8 thousand, essentially the same price we're at now. Closed less than an hour ago. Go figure, it'd be at the same exact price. With that green close that we had yesterday, that gives us a direct bounce right off the overbought zone. You can see it here, the RSI bouncing right off that little dash line. That's a very powerful circumstance kind of environment to be in right now. I would expect that this takes us to new highs relative to the RSI here, right? Higher lows beget higher highs, and I very much do assume that we're going to see that. This next reading in the RSI could provide something that's above the 85, maybe even above the 90 at this pace, and with that we could see a rather robust move. I am expecting this next move to take place. It's probably taking place right now. I think with yesterday, if everything goes well today, it took place as of yesterday or maybe the day before on this low wick, whatever. We're in the middle of this next move up right now, and I think it's going to be bigger than this move. I think it's going to be bigger than this move, and it's going to be bigger than this move. It's going to be something that takes us all the way up to $121,000, at least there, at least somewhere around there, if not higher. I'm expecting 130 to 140K by the end of the month, so that would imply that the initial phase takes us right up to that 120K area, and then maybe we meander up to this 130 to 140K area by the end of the month. It's looking more like we'll see 130, but you never know. Things can get squirrely pretty fast, you guys. There's a lot of psychological resistance at 100K, and while we are at 106K, while we did close at the highest daily close that Bitcoin has ever seen, last week, just a couple days ago, we closed at the highest weekly close that Bitcoin's ever seen, and we're on track to close the highest month that Bitcoin has ever seen too. We're still in this 100K area. And once we start to really get away from that, there's not much stopping us, right? There's a lot of psychological resistance at this area, right? Just above it, just below it, whatever. Not so much right at 100K, but a lot of psychological resistance in this zone and a lot of resistance on the price as well. I think once we break free of this area, we're going to have an easier time moving. And that initial break is going to be bigger than any of these initial breaks, but instead of moving sideways, I'm anticipating that we see some kind of upward sloping consolidation, something like this. We might consolidate, finish off with a double top or something, and then consolidate for a little bit of June, rallying into the end of the month, going into July or something like that. I don't know exactly how it's going to look, but I would anticipate that we see about $121,000 from a high to a low here. Our primary target on the fib, the 1272, is at $121,000. So that makes sense to me. With yesterday's close, that's three candles on a daily time frame in a row that have closed above the 886. At this point, statistically speaking, it's inevitable that we're going to this land, somewhere between the 1618 and the 1272. It's inevitable. Okay, the question is not are we going to this area? The question is when. Okay, right now, from a statistical standpoint, it's far more likely that we interact with $121,000 than we interact with anything below this number here at 104.6K. It's far more likely that we go up here than it is that we go down. Just because it's more likely doesn't mean that we have to move up. We can move down. Crazy things can happen. Weird things can happen. We do have, I suppose it looks like we have bearish divergence here with this high and this lower high, but it's not bearish divergence, right? And if it is, we've already made the move down. We've already bearishly diverged. We've already moved down because of it, and we've recovered in dramatic time. If we're looking at this in a 1 hour time frame here, the 1 hour RSI does promote lower highs, but it also promotes higher lows. Overall, we're living above the 50 far more than we're living below the 50, and I think that this is overall a more bullishly postured RSI, getting overbought, not getting overbought. It looks like it's bullishly postured, looking like you more likely would get into the overbought zone from here than get into the oversold zone. We're super close to seeing that. I think that's when the fun begins. Being on the 1 hour time frame, we just started a new day. It's all the way over here that the next day is, right? This time frame right here, all the way right here, that hour, that's the new day for tomorrow. So I think between now and the end of this day, right, we can definitely get into the overbought zone. If we see that, Bitcoin's going to be pushing new all-time highs. You guys, it happens today. What was my last Bitcoin video? What did I title it? Let me see here. Hold on. Bitcoin. I said Bitcoin new all-time highs today. I titled that for the 20th. And it was not on the 20th that we saw new all-time highs, but it very well could be today, the 21st, that we see new all-time highs. I would very much strongly believe that, especially with the 1 hour RSI looking the way it is, and just this volume coming in as we're building. This is on the index though, so the volume isn't as reliable. Volume building on Coinbase too there. Looks good. Yeah. Yeah. 4 hour time frame. Looking at this here, the 4 hour looks super bullish. You're right on the cusp, you guys. All you have to do right now at this point, the only thing left to do is just move up at this point. So if we do happen to move below $104,000, I think that would be a point of concern because we have every reason to move up here. We're getting the volume and everything, and if we just don't do it, we actually might stand to go below $100,000 one last time, fake the whole markets out, and then from there recover. You know, it would be just as quick to the downside as it would be to recover to the upside. But I'm not anticipating that. All I'm saying there is not financial advice, not a financial advisor. If we move down, if we happen to move down to prices that are at 100,000 or heaven forbid even below $100,000, it would happen swift. It would recover swift. It would be so fast it'll make your head spin. You won't even have time to think about it. So don't worry about it, right? Don't worry about it. Just treat it as a buying opportunity if you have any capital on the side, and if you're fully allocated like myself, just sit on your hands. Sit on your hands. It'll be fine. 4 hour RSI does look bullish though. I would have to say in culmination with the 1 hour. Even in combination with the 15-minute time frame, I'm having a hard time being bearish here. I think today's the day that we break out to new all-time highs, guys. Today, the 21st of May, I think will be the day that we see prices above $110,000, and never again. From this day on, we confirm that we will never again see prices below $100,000. That'd be my assumption. 3-day time frame here, looking super bullish in the RSI. Weekly time frame here, just getting overbought, right? We would just be getting overbought if we can close above about $108,000 this week. So with a little push higher, we will be in the overbought zone. Anytime you're in the overbought zone in the weekly RSI, that tends to be where the good stuff happens. That's when we see the majority of these bigger moves taking place. So as fun as it's been, last week or 2 weeks ago, we moved up 10%. Last week it was a neutral week, rather 2%, 10%, 2% over the last couple of weeks. The biggest weeks that we've seen have been 10% to the upside. I think we're going to see bigger weeks here soon. Weeks like 17%, 20% probably. Stuff like this, bigger weeks that we've seen relative to the cycle, maybe even the biggest weeks so far that we've seen in the cycle. The biggest week, I guess, that we've seen has been 26%. Might we see some of the biggest weeks coming forward? I wouldn't be surprised if we did, man. Breaking out to new all-time highs, and with all the momentum behind us from a fundamental perspective, from just a euphoria perspective, I can't imagine that we're going to see anything less than spectacular on this next phase up. So we're just being patient, man. We're so close. We're so close. I'm on the edge of my seat right now. I can taste it. I can literally smell 120K like it's right in front of me, and I think it is. We're going to be there very, very soon. I'm assuming we have a solid chance of being at new all-time highs by the end of today, the 21st. If not, it's coming any day now, guys. And then we will soon be, and we are probably already on our path to 120K, 140K, ultimately $180,000 by the end of June, early July. That's the expectation. I got nothing else for you guys. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, hit the like button, subscribe if you want more content like this. Thank you all for being here. I don't think there's anything else worth talking about. If we go down, that's the one thing. If we happen to go down, and we even if this is some kind of fake out and we go all the way down to 97K, just understand everything's fine. Everything's still going to happen to the upside. We're just having a massive shakeout beforehand, and that happens. It might mess with like the timing by a day or a week, but it's not going to mess with it too much. Everything is still going according to plan. We can have a little bit of a pullback, but I doubt we do. I think we're literally going to rip today, man. I think we're in the process of it, but time will tell. Hopefully by the time you watch this, we're already up at new all-time highs. I don't know. Hit the like button, subscribe. Thank you all for being here. I'll see you on the next one. Bye-bye.